Hey everybody, it's Karen at Simply Living for Him. I'm here to do my daily devotional. These devotionals are found every day on my YouTube channel, so if you like them, you can subscribe over there. Also, you can find them in the Simply Living for Him online women's community at simplylivingforhim.com/community. I am filming today in my car because the air conditioning broke upstairs in my home, and it is very hot, and that's where my office is, and that's where I do a lot of my work, and I just could not take how hot it was. Now, many of you know me. I like the heat, but it's a little stuffy in there, even for me. So I'm doing this today, but I wanted to read to you from Proverbs 3. This actually has to do with my air conditioning. Why, you ask? Does this devotional have to do with your air conditioning? But I'm going to tell you. So this morning, we had to sleep, obviously, with the air conditioning off. Steve went and bought one of those box fans for our window to kind of get some air circulating in our room. And while I was sleeping, I had the idea for this devotional, or while I was waking up, because I love to sleep with the windows opened, and I love to hear the sound of the birds in the morning. Around here, out in the country, I'm sure everywhere, but in the morning, the birds literally sound like a choir. There is just so many different kinds of birds and so many different calls and so many different songs. And it is loud. So I love to sleep with the windows open so I can hear that beautiful sound in the morning wake me up. And it really starts like 4 a.m. I mean, they start really early, and it just gets louder and louder, and it's just a beautiful way to wake up. So since our AC is broken and we have this box fan in our window to kind of get things circulating, because of course it was super duper hot when our air conditioning decided to break, we had the window open and we had the fan. And so I slept later because I didn't hear my birds waking me up. And when I did wake up, it was like this loud sound of this fan. And I could kind of hear the birds, behind that sound. And I'm like, I want to hear my birds. I want to hear my birds. And I couldn't. I could catch one call here or one song there. And it's like you knew they were there, but you just couldn't hear them well. So I got up and I turned off the fan. And all of a sudden, it was just so beautiful. There was none of that loud, distracting background noise. And it was just the beautiful birds. And I could hear them so clearly and so beautifully. And I was like, yes, this is what I need. And I just lay there and I listened to the birds with no distractions. And it reminded me of our world. Right now, the whole world is like that box fan. We can't hear God's voice because we've got this loud, drowning out his voice. And so I want to encourage you today, turn off the fan, turn off the news, turn off the headlines, turn off the internet, get in your word. Because that is literally what it's like. When I'm in God's word, it's like I turned off that fan and I can hear clearly the beautiful sound of the birds. I can hear clearly the beautiful sound of his voice. Proverbs 3 says, starting in verse 6, seek his will in all you do, and he will direct your paths. Turn off the fan. Turn off the noise. Turn off the voices and seek his will. He will direct our paths. Not the people that are screaming at us every day, not the internet, not the headlines, not the politicians, not the stuff. Seek his will. Turn off the fan. Turn off the noise of this world. Listen to him. And when you get rid of those distractions and you hear his voice clearly, it's like, he's been there all along. Why was I allowing this noise to take away my attention from him? So that was the lesson I thought of this morning while I was laying in bed, listening to those birds. I was like, we need to do that in our lives. We need to turn off anything that's drowning out his voice, whatever it is in your life. For all of us, it can be different. For many of us right now, I know the world is drowning out his voice, but sometimes even your own self, your own thoughts drown out his voice. I've been there where I've let worry or, negative thoughts or complaining or bitterness or anger or fear, my own thoughts will drown out his beautiful voice. So get in his word today and listen to him above all else. Like it says in here, you know, seek his will in all you do and he will direct your paths. That is what it's all about, letting him lead us and not the world. It goes on to say, don't be impressed with your own wisdom. Instead, fear the Lord and turn your back on evil. So don't be impressed with yourself and your thoughts. Don't let your thoughts drown out his voice. Don't let others drown out his voice. Listen to him. Listen to him, because the world is loud. Our own voices are loud. But he's there, just like those birds all along. He's there saying, come, listen to me, find peace, listen to my words, find truth, find hope, find the answers to all the things that you're seeking elsewhere. He's right there.